Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for tuning in. I hope the videos are helping you in your designing process. If they are, please smash that subscribe button, hit like, leave me a comment, and share the content. It would greatly help me out. I'd really appreciate it. I had an email on a request for an item on how to do it, so I thought I'd go ahead and show it. I'm going to show it two different ways, and it really depends on how detailed you want to get. So let's go ahead and dive into this thing. First thing we need is a ring rail. I don't know the ring size, but you can, just any size you want, go over and change it, no big deal. And you have all your options from all over the world, which is really cool. And they've added a couple with the updates. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off record history real quick. I'm going to grab this thing, first hit enter, grab this thing. I'm going to duplicate it in place, and I'm going to change it to red. Okay, I'm going to select that red one, and I am going to bump it out just a little. I don't want my lettering on my, oh, it didn't bust the history. So let's grab the red one, bump it out. Yeah, okay. So let's grab the original one. One of them should break history. Something maybe like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we broke history. I'll go ahead and turn on my history now. Okay, so we have that there. And it's a little bit off my ring rail, right? I don't want it on my ring rail. So I'm going to take this one here, change it to my ring rail, and then change this one to red. Okay, so I'm going to select the red, go in here to my tools here, text on curve, and just click it, and it'll put out the MatrixGold text there. And I'm going to go over here and type in what I want, and I'm going to type in, let's see, I got my caps locked, so it'll give me capital letters. I'm going to type in LAUREN space and space LEVAR. And then I'll go ahead and hit enter, and it should throw that up there for me, right? So I have the lettering there. And right now we have it set to Arial. In order to, instead of going through there trying to find which, if you don't already know your lettering type, all your lettering that you have on your computer should be in there. But if you don't know your lettering type, you can go ahead, if you have, Word, you can just go into Word, highlight your whatever your text is, and then you can just kind of click on here and then scroll down, and you can really quick find a lettering that you're wanting to use, right? So that's a real quick way to pick out your lettering that you want, right? So I'll go ahead and get rid of this, save changes, don't save. And I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to go down to a bookmark old style and click on that. It kind of gives me, I think, the lettering that they might be looking for. But you can, play around with those and check them out. Now what I'm going to do is my lettering size, right now I think it's set at a 1, so definitely we don't want it 1, we want it wider. So we're going to just keep bumping it up to whatever size we want. Right now it's what, 2.6. You could bump it up. It really, you got to be careful because it's going to lay it out. It's going to start taking up space the bigger you get it, right? Because it needs the space there. And I'm also going to go ahead and switch to bold, right? And we only have a little space here now. And it's, what is it, 3 millimeter? We'll just say that's good. And now we'll work on letter spacing, right? And we'll kind of just close up that gap a little bit, but we want a little bit of gap there to show the definition of the lettering for this particular one that we're doing here. I'll show you another way to get it a little bit more detailed. To break it up, right? So now we have it equally spaced out for the most part. Looks like it. And, there you go. That's pretty fine. So we'll just go ahead and take that, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'll go to my right view where I can kind of, well, before I do that, let's grab this ring rail. Okay, and I'll hold down Alt, and just make me a copy of it. Bring it outside my ring rail because we need space for the rail, right, to go around the lettering, right? So something like this, and we'll just go ahead, select that. We'll go to our tools there. We'll go ahead and put that on frontal so it pops it up straight. We'll go ahead and grab it. Now, unless you want the round profile, we'll go ahead and just grab a square one here. I think it's way down here at the bottom. And we'll take that, and we'll go ahead, and this time we'll go to the, so we can kind of see where it's going, right? Let's first go ahead and drag it in, and we just want it barely touching, right? Just barely touching those, because we don't want to really absorb the lettering into the rail too much. And I'll just kind of bump it over, and you can see we have just a pinch going around there, right? Which is fine. It's kind of what I want. So we'll go ahead and hit enter. Now, maybe, you don't like those edges or whatever. You can go in and get rid of those edges. You could have done that in your profile editor too. Go in profile, go into editor. Well, it's more complicated in there probably. It's probably just easier to fillet it. We'll just go ahead and fillet it. It'll break history, but we can still manipulate it, so no big deal. Let's go to cleanup, and let's go to fillet corners, and we'll pick our corners. I think 0.269, something like that. So we got that, right? And we're still barely overlapping, which is cool, what we want. And we have it above our lettering, and it's going below our lettering, right? Now we can always adjust this curve too, so it's all parametric, right? So let's go ahead to our surface 1, sweep 1, and there and there, hit enter, and we have our railing, and it should be touching all our letters, which I'm not sure. We'll find out here in a second. So something like that, right? Looks like it's not touching quite. So let's go ahead and select this puppy here and just kind of bump him over just a little, and it'll update. And now they're definitely touching. Yeah. Okay. And then hit enter, select that item there, go to transition or transform. And then hit parametric mirror, and we want it in our X direction, not our Y, and then we'll hit enter, and there you go. There's the letter. That's the simple way to do it, but we don't have any definition here, right? There's no, the only thing we have is the spacing. If that's what you're going for, well, you're good to go. Only thing you have to do at this point, go to solid, Boolean union, first surface enter, second surface enter, right click, bring it back, first surface enter, second surface enter, enter, and you are done. That quick, right? And it's all laid out. So, there you go. And it's closed polyservice. So all you have to do is get it lined up, and you're good to go. And you have your item there with your names. You can put some gemstones on there. You can put some gemstones on there. Do all kind of crazy things with it, right? Okay, so this is one way to do it. So let's go back to our shading and then get rid of all this. And let's just go ahead and grab a new viewport so we can start from scratch here. This other way, it takes a little bit longer, but of course with detail, right, it will take longer. So first thing we're going to do is go to tools again and grab our ring rail and change it to whatever size we want and hit enter. Next thing we'll do is select our ring rail, type length, type enter, and it gives us our length here in millimeters, right? So we'll go ahead and take that, and we'll go to curves, and we will draw a line, change it to whatever color. I think I'll change this one to here, and I'm just going to click on any spot there, come down here, highlight that length there, right click on it, go to copy, and then I'll go back down here to my command line and then hit paste. And now that measurement is locked into that size there, right? And that's what we want. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, I'm going to hold down Alt, and I am going to drag it up just a little bit, right? So it kind of mimics that line that we drew off of here, right? To get the lettering in the center of our item there, right? So I'm going to go ahead and let's see. We'll take this one and turn it to red, and we'll keep, well, we'll take this one, turn it to red, and we'll just keep this one, we can change it to yellow. Yeah, okay, yellow. And and we'll go to tools again, and we'll add our text on there. And again, we'll go over here and type in the or what we want, LAUREN, space, and space, two spaces, LEVAR. Okay, and then hit enter, and it will lay it out there, right? Now this, it's just a little harder to figure out, you know, the width that you really are going for. I think we had it at 3, so we'll just go ahead over here and type in 3 to keep it the same, and hit enter. And depth is 1. I'd probably just go ahead and leave that there. So we have a little space here. If you want that a little bit, you could just drag that line up if you want that space more. But that'll give you that spacing, right? Or the size of the lettering, right? But we want to definitely space that out. So let's go in here and let's go to our spacing here. Let's first change it to bold so we can get a good idea. Bold is a little bit better because it gives you a little bit more thickness, right? Oh, and I need to change that from Arial to our bookmark that we had out there. Bookmark old, I think it was. Bookman old style. So it gives us the same type of lettering, and it gives us a little bit of space in some of them, which is great. And then we'll go in here and do this letter spacing, kind of space it out a little bit more. Something like that there, perhaps. Maybe those are a little too close. Those ends will be a little too close. So let's bump that back just a smidge. There. So it kind of gives us this type of spacing here, perhaps. Okay, this is just a little bit harder to lay out. You have to play around with it a little bit to get it exactly the way you want it. But we'll go ahead and hit enter here. Okay, now, like I said, we want to give it more pizzazz, and we want to give more definition between these words, names, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go in here and select that original line there, and we are going to go and hold down Alt and then drag it over so it gives the copy, right? And we'll snap one there, right? This one we're going to lay out more in detail. Okay, so this one, what we're going to do is we want some kind of little separation in here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to go and get an arc direction here, arc direction curve, and with my near snaps on, it'll just select, go to the line, right? So we'll come in here and we'll come here maybe, let's back out, let's make it a little bit wider here, something like this, kind of right in the middle there. You could draw a line out if you wanted to get it exactly right, and then put your wherever you want it over here, and then go to your mid, and then whoop, not a line curve, arc direction, sorry, go to your mid there, and then kind of give it a little arc depending on what you're wanting, right? And then you can just take that, mirror it from that end there to hold down shift to that there, right? And we'll just go ahead and take those and join them together, and we will go ahead and delete this, and right here it would give me my spacing a little bit off, right? So let's take that and move it over to where it's more in the center of this. You can kind of play around wherever you want it before you do anything else, right? So we'll take that and put it kind of like right there. We'll take it and we'll hold down Alt. Well, let's just go ahead and duplicate. It'll be easier. Duplicate it from that point. Well, no, let's duplicate it from the line. That way we can keep it on our line. And then go over in here. It's kind of a bummer. That's boxes. Kind of, I wish I could get rid of that box for a little bit. Kind of put it where you want it. And you can always move it around until you do your cutout, right? So just kind of move it around to wherever you want. And then again, we're going to take it and we're going to duplicate it from this point here over to our very, maybe not our very end. This one's going to be a little right here, maybe. Yeah. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll just take a line here and hold down Shift. And then I'll take this and I'll split it with this and then hit Enter. And I will, we got to get those lined up exactly. Well, actually what I should do is undo that. Is it split? No. Okay. I'm going to drag a line from here, holding down Shift to here. I'm going to select all this, and I am going to go to my Move command, and I'm going to move it from here to here, right? So I should, in theory, hopefully this will, I can take this side and put it over on the other side and it will come out okay. So I'm going to take this, or take this curve here, and I'm going to split it with this curve here and hit Enter, right? Now I'm going to take these two and since we split them, I'm just going to go ahead and select my Move command. And I'm going to, right there on the end where we split it with that line, drag it over here to this end, right? And then I'll go ahead and get rid of that. Hopefully that should give me what I'm looking for. It's all a game, right? So let's go ahead and take this curve and we will go ahead and split it. Split with this, and this, and hit Enter. And we broke his, no big deal. It didn't split. Take this curve, split with this, hit Enter. Huh. Am I not on that? Looks like I am. Did these split? Let's see. Yep, that one split okay. This one split okay. Did this one split? No. Okay, so these two are off somewhat. So let's go ahead and do those again one more time. Let's take these two. Go ahead and duplicate. Make sure it's on my end there. And drag it down. I am going to get that line back. I'm going to take it from here out. Hold down Shift. Okay, and then take this curve and let's see. That's going to be difficult. I should have. Okay, let's go back here. Let's go ahead and grab this and do this in here real quick. And then let's grab this and do this in here. Now let's grab this and duplicate it from that point there. This is gonna, well, let's do it over here to this side. The end right there. And let's just see if this works before I go and do the other side. Split with this, hit Enter. I don't think it did. Yeah, it did. Okay. All right. So that worked. All right. And let's go ahead and get rid of this puppy here. Let's go ahead and grab this. Duplicate. from that end there over to this end here, and then hit enter, and hopefully this will split this time. This curve split with this and hit enter. All right, there we go. So let's take this and split it. Right click with this, enter. Broke history, no big deal. Let's grab these two and delete them. And let's go over here and take this and right click with this and hit enter. Broke history, no big deal. Okay, so there we go. And let's get rid of all this in here. Yes. Okay, so hopefully those two will line up for me, right? Now I'm just going to go ahead and select all red, join those together, right? Okay, so we have this. Now let's go back. Oh, I got them at a curve there. It's no problem. Let's go ahead, transform. Let's make sure our top viewport, project to C-plane, and delete input object. Yes, so it just snaps them straight down, right? That's kind of what we want. All right, so we have that, and it's on our C-plane. Planar open curve. Okay, so let's take this now. We're going to duplicate it. We'll go ahead, hold down Alt, and then drag this over. And then kind of get it to the width that you're wanting it, right? Whatever it looks like, almost 2 millimeters, almost 2. We'll just say that's good. And from here, we'll just go ahead, take those two, and we will hold down Alt again and drag them up as high as we want them, right? So we have that, and now we'll just select those three. We'll go to surface, we'll go to loft, and it'll give us some kind of crazy surface out there probably. Yeah, that's a crazy surface. Okay, so that's not going to work, right? It should, let's see. Go to loft, let's go to the old loft here, let's try that. Okay, so we'll go to closed first, right? And then we'll go from normal to straight, and it kind of gives us everything we want. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. OK. And hopefully that will be okay. We'll find out here in a second. And it's open. You don't want to close it. Now you can go ahead and take it, and we can start to move it into where we want it to touch, right? Dragging broke history, no big deal. Just barely touching. There we go. Maybe something like that, right? And, you know, if you think that's a little too wide, you could always just go in here and start manipulating it however you want, right? And then readjust. And just kind of get it so that it's just barely overlapping our item. Now what we can do is we can just take this and do a mirror from our mid on that yellow line. Let's find our mid. Let's go ahead and, well, first let's take this lettering here and we'll change it to this, and we'll just hide that real quick. We want to take this and mirror it from our mid right there. Hold down Shift. So it selects over to our other side, bring back our lettering, and hopefully everything, oh, not touching there. Looks like it's touching here, not touching there. So let's take this one and just kind of bump him in just a little. Something like that, perhaps. All right, so we have that out there, right? And it looks like it's touching, maybe. Yeah, there we go. We can see it right through there. Looks like it's got connection there. It's got connection in there, so we should be okay. All right, so let's see. We got this red curve. That's our curve that we want. So let's change him to blue. Let's go ahead and grab all that red. Go ahead and get rid of it, clean up, do some cleanup here. All right, so we have this out there. Now, if you wanted to, you could, yeah. You could go to your solids. Well, it's not a solid. You'd have to close it off. So why don't well, you could go to your surface. There's all kind of options, right? And do a fillet, depending 0.05 there, it depends on what you want, uh, how you want to get it to fillet. You could close them off and do a blend, and that would work as well. Uh, fillet, you just have to play around with it to get your size that's going to work for you. Two here, well, there, that. It's kind of not really because of this surface here. You could do a sweep instead of the loft. That would probably be much better. Just draw your lines out, right? Make the box and then do your sweep, and that way you could do that fillet a little bit easier, right? But I'm just gonna keep on moving forward here. So let's see. All right, so we're here. Let's go to transform. Let's go to. I did not practice this, so this is all kind of winging it. Let's go to flow. There's our flow along curve. Well, before I do flow along curve, let's go ahead and take this and let's change our curve seam from the top, and we'll drag it down and around to the bottom here. Hit enter, take that curve, change it back to keep everything in order. Now let's go to that transform. Let's go to flow right here, flow along curve, select objects to flow along curve. That'll be this thing here, all these and this, and then hit enter. Select base curve. That'll be that blue curve that we changed colors on, right? And then we'll select it down here towards our bottom right there. And there you go. And we'll go ahead and you can manipulate this, alter it, right? And it should update. But this will give you the little more pizzazz to it, right? So that it has the lettering in there, and it's kind of broken up with the name, right? Names or words. The words have they're kind of encased in little things there, right? So hopefully this will answer your question. It depends on how detailed you want. You can go in there and fillet those two as well. So right now we have a open poly surface, which is, it should be closed. They should be touching. Open poly surface. So let's find out where our seam is. Let's go to analyze. It's probably right there at the bottom, but it should have closed up. Show edges. Yep, right there it is. And we have 6 naked edges. Are they all the same spot? Looks like they are. Those are real easy to fix though. So all you have to, there's an even number. When it's an odd number, it's a little more problematic. It's not really that bad, but go ahead, 2 naked edges here, here. That'll get rid of the 1. Right click, bring it back. Go from here, here, and this one here. Right click, here, here. And now when we select on close polysurface, you want to do that to the other one, or you can just mirror it. We'll just go ahead and mirror it. We'll take this one, delete it, and then we'll take this one, go to transform and mirror parametric, X not Y, and now we should have everything closed off. Close polysurface, and our lettering. Close poly surface. Last thing we have to do, solids Boolean union. This surface enter, these letterings enter, and what happened there? Shot them all down there. That's interesting. Let's back out of that. Abort that. Maybe they're not touching good enough, so let's take it and I'll click there. Negative 0.1 should be fine. And we'll go a positive 0.1 here, just a 0.1. And now we'll try that. Okay. So we'll go Boolean union, here, enter, and it does that again. Huh. Interesting. All right, so we'll take these and ungroup them. I don't think that's the problem, but just in case, now we'll try. Enter, I'm just going to try one letter. And it slaps it. Why is it doing that? That's interesting. Okay, if somebody knows why it's doing that, that would be, oh, maybe it wants me to join it down there? That could, so let's just, I mean, it's just as easy, I guess. Go ahead and get rid of all this stuff. And let's just go, maybe it wants me to Boolean union it down here. So this will be our first surface, all this will be our second surface. We'll hit enter. Okay, and let's go to shaded here. There we go. That's that. That's that. Okay, so I'm going to take this one and change it to gray, and it's a hidden. So we got this, right? So Boolean union one more time. This here, enter, this here, enter, enter, and we'll get rid of that one surface, change him to gray. All right, and it's all joined. Our letter, group text, we'll change that to gray. Okay, so we have our item, and now we'll do that flow. Just sometimes there's issues that pop up. You have to take care of them, right? So we'll take that curve. Well, first, before we take that curve, let's get our objects, which would be this, enter. Now that curve and our target curve there. And there we go. That's all up there. And we'll check it, open poly surface. So we got to do that, analyze one more time. Analyze, show edges. Now we have four. We have to do them all. Okay, it's kind of being stubborn. So we'll go ahead and just do them. Just select them, and then it'll close off. Right click, select them, close it off. Go around, select them, close it off. Select it. Get that one. Go to our bottom here. Grab these two. Get them. Right click one more time. Get that. Close poly surface. Get rid of our box there. And we are done. If I can select things. All right, we'll hide that. And we'll hide our ring rail. And there you go. And now it's the closed poly surface, right? So what can we do? We can go to our, maybe our fillet command here, blend edge, right? And what we need to do here, preview yes, and we'll select that edge. Well, before we do that, let's just back out of that, right click, let's do chain edges, and then we'll select that. And we have it set at a 1, I think. So yeah, 1. So we have it on preview. Yes, it'll probably be pretty much, but if that's what you're looking for, that much there, I'm going to go ahead and set all and type it down to 0.5 and then hit enter. And I'll take that there, make it a little bit smoother there. I'll right click, chain edges, select this side here, hit enter, enter, and enter. So we have those set at a 0.5, and we still have a closed poly surface. I'll right click. Preview is still at yes. Chain edges. I'll do my inside here. Enter. This time I'll take it down to a 0.25. Hit enter. I didn't change them. Well, first go ahead and hit enter. Set all. 0.25, enter, there, and hit enter, and right click, chain edges, enter, 0.2, enter, and enter, and check it, open. Okay, what are you doing here? Okay, let's see what we got here. Show edges. How many? 9. That's an uneven number. That is not fun. That is, oh, it's on our inside there. So let's go, let's just get rid of those 2 fillets on the inside there. There we go. And maybe we can drop them down. You can play around with it. Preview, yes. Let's chain edges. Enter. 0.25. Let's take it down to a point, just to give it a little smoothness. 1, enter. 0.1, enter. So it just gives it a little bit, right? So let's, I don't want that. Select blend handles. No. Oh, right click, chain edges. Here, enter, 0.1, enter, and enter. Select our item, close poly surface, right click, chain edges, here, enter, enter, and enter. Select it, close poly surface. Now it just gives it a little bit of roundness, right? And you can change those to whatever you want, but there you go. And you have a little, and you can actually blend that too if you wanted to. But it'll just, separate the wording a little bit more. So hopefully this will help you. And if it does, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. And thanks for watching. Good designing.